Good evening. While relatives and friends grieved, officials today continued their efforts to establish the cause of the weekend head-on collision near Mataura that cost the lives of 6 young people. Kathy Graham with this report.
Local officers spent the day examining the wreckage in an attempt to piece together what happened. The accident's one of the worst ever in the south. It was a head-on collision between this truck, loaded with lime and towing a loaded trailer, and a Datsun in which 6 people were travelling. Police said the car was completely destroyed on impact. They believe the driver and passengers were all killed outright. The truck turned over and the driver was injured, but he's been discharged from hospital. Today, the impact of the collision was obvious from the damage to the truck. The front wheel section separated from the body.
We can't comment directly on who was at fault at this stage. There's going to have to be another thorough scene examination made, which will take another week or 2 years.
What is known is that Barry Stevenson of Mataura, one of the 3 young men in the car, was celebrating his 21st birthday on Saturday. He and his 5 friends, all from Gore, were believed to be headed for Invercargill.
We're carrying out extensive investigations and this will determine if it was on the wrong side of the road or the truck was on the wrong side of the road.
A combined funeral for the 3 young women is to be held in Gore on Wednesday. Funerals for the men will be held tomorrow and Wednesday.
A police aerial swoop through Otago and Southland has yielded about $3.25 million worth of cannabis plants. Drug squad police systematically combed likely areas in a helicopter and picked up thousands of plants. Peter Cruikshank reports they've made a dozen arrests so far.
The police helicopter and crew have combed thousands of square kilometres of Otago and Southland over the last fortnight. In one of its final sorties, Operation Allison as it was called, found 23 cannabis plants inside this public reserve at Seaward Downs. In Southland, the helicopter search uncovered 750 plants in the last 2 days, while ground parties found 1,000 in one patch alone. In Otago, the team took 2,500 plants and there were a dozen arrests. Operation Allison has recovered drugs, mainly cannabis, in places ranging from Southland beaches to central Otago high country. Police are still keeping quiet about some details of the search as the cannabis harvest season is not yet over.
There's still no arrest following Saturday's robbery at Dunedin's Centre City, New World. A young woman got away with just under $76,000 in cash and $41,000 in cheques after threatening an employee with a handgun. The Datsun wagon she got away in was later found abandoned in Old Mount Cargill Road. Police are interested in talking to anyone who saw the Datsun Sunny or its occupants on Saturday. Dunedin people seem to be taking heed of the publicity campaign about skin cancer. A free clinic at the weekend attracted 550 people wanting to check for skin cancers, particularly melanoma. As Mark Price reports, 11 possible cases of melanoma were detected.
It was overcast and grey, but still, queues waited to find out what damage the sun had done to their skin over the years. In the end, most were relieved to find they didn't have anything to worry about.
Well, look, that's a harmless little warty growth there. It's not a skin cancer at all. Okay.
But specialists will be taking a closer look at the skin of 11 people.
If it's a very thin melanoma, say a very early melanoma, then they may undergo a little bit more surgery just to re-excise the wound. If it's a thicker melanoma, a little bit more skin may need to be excised and on some occasions some glands removed. But generally, early melanomas are treated by simple surgery, and that should be curative if a mole is picked up early, if a melanoma is picked up early, sorry.
60 people with other forms of skin cancer were found, indicating that even in the south, those who go out in the sun should not overdo it. If you're worried, what should you look for?
What we're looking for is change. Most people have a number of moles, and we're not trying to say that every mole should be removed at all, but moles that are changing, developing dark areas within them, moles that are growing, becoming asymmetrical, and that perhaps are giving some symptoms such as itch and bleeding. Not every mole that itches and bleeds is a melanoma, but these are signs that moles ought to be checked.
The Cancer Society will be running a free clinic in Balclutha next Saturday.
The people who are ultimately paying for the billion-dollar Clyde Dam got the chance at the weekend for a close look at what they're getting for their money. Taxpayers clambered over and under the biggest concrete gravity dam in the country and seemed reasonably satisfied with what they saw. Mark Price was there.
This is one view that won't be available after the dam's finished. The bottom of the spillway will be out of bounds to the public. 15,000 people had a look at the dam from all sorts of places they won't be able to go to again. There were traffic jams in the inspection tunnels that go deep into the 1 million cubic metres of concrete that will hold back the Clutha River. There was quite a queue to see the joint in the dam that's designed to make it safe during earthquakes. For the record, the dam is 490 metres across the top, 100 metres high. Its 4 huge generators will produce 432 megawatts, and at its peak the workforce numbered 1,000. It's supposed to be finished by August, and the cost is believed to be about $1 billion.
It's bigger than I thought it would be. We went through the inspection tunnels and it's a long way. It's a lot of concrete, there's no doubt about it.
A lot of work, a lot of money been spent on it. I hope it's all worthwhile.
Do you think it's a good investment?
Well, it's been done now, so let's hope it pays off.
A massive amount of concrete and so forth, a lot of work, and the engineering must have been terrific.
Good investment, would you think?
Yes, yes.
Somewhere we've got to pay for it, haven't we? You know, the electricity rates are going up all the time. I'm not sure whether it's value for money or not.
Open Day raised about $20,000 for Plunkett and the Cromwell Squash Club.
Another visitor to the Clyde Dam at the weekend was Princess Anne. She toured the dam site on Saturday morning and in the afternoon opened Mount Aspiring College in Wanaka. The hot sun streamed down on the audience during the formal ceremony. After the speeches came a local folk song, Farewell to the Gold, which the Princess obviously enjoyed.
Farewell to the gold that never I found. Goodbye to the nuggets that's somewhere around. And it's only when dreaming that I see gleaming that in the dark deep underground.
The Princess chose this occasion to make one of the few speeches she's given on this tour.
I get asked to open things at various stages in their careers, and this one seems to be a relatively suitable moment because it is now a complete entity and very much a working entity. And may I wish all the students who will follow your footsteps through these portals the best of luck, as I do to you. And I'm not going to say anything else because you look quite hot enough. Well.
The Princess was then shown various activities around the college, including a display of artwork and the popular Outdoor Pursuits program. The enjoyment and interest of the pupils was matched by that of Princess Anne. Now to athletics, and Otago and Southland athletes enjoyed unprecedented success at the National Junior Championships in Dunedin at the weekend. Athletes from the region won no less than 14 gold medals, 7 to each province, and 38 medals in all.
The local provinces have never enjoyed success like this on a national level, and it augurs well for the future of athletics in the south. Young athletes performed above themselves as they lowered more favoured northerners. Rising Southland middle distance star Eddie Crow won gold in the 800 metres, then yesterday showed an amazing finishing kick to take a silver medal in the 1500 metres. Fellow Southlander Jeff Clark also won silver and gold, being beaten by a lesser-known teammate from the other side of the Clutha, Phil Harrison, in the 400 metres, but making sure of gold in the 200. But the local highlight of the weekend was the national record of 1.84 metres by Otago high jumper Tania Murray. Last year's senior national title holder Murray overcame a lapse in form this summer after a long year in 1988.
I came back from Canada. I had started the season, I jumped 175, sprained my ankle, and then I just overtired and just couldn't jump.
So you needed a bit of a rest. Did you have a lay off?
Yeah, I did. I pulled myself out of one of these meetings and concentrated on training, getting it right.
Tania is yet another product of coach Trevor Bent, who's taken another Otago athlete, Treaty Woodhead, to the top in New Zealand. Yesterday, the pair were back in competition in the Chelsea Invitation high jump, showing again they're number 1 and 2 in the country. But in what order? And now it's all on between these two for the senior nationals next weekend. Mark down a gold medal for Otago in the women's high jump. But as this tie suggests, don't be sure of which one of these two outstanding Otago athletes will wear it on the dais.
Ken Nicholson with that report. And congratulations to the Southland cricket team, which successfully defended the Ubix Cup today, beating the challengers Nelson by 120 runs on the first innings. Robbie Hill collected 5 wickets, John Wilson another 4, as Nelson fell well short of Southland's score of 330. And by the look of our temperature chart, that match was played in rather warm conditions today. Invercargill, in fact, is expecting another good day tomorrow with 20 degrees. Dunedin predicting a high tomorrow of 21. The low today was recorded in Oamaru of 19 degrees and the high in Alexandra, 31. We'll be back tomorrow night. Good night.